here's what we'll do. Let me introduce myself real quick, and then we'll go around the room. And what I would love is if everyone could, when you do introduce yourselves, stand, project your voice, and then with confidence, let us know your name, your business, and what inspired you to start. All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate first. So I'll stand up and say my name, business, and what inspired me to start. Okay. All right. So my name is Jahleel Vester. My business, I serve people and I sell real estate. All right, and I'll tell you how I got into that world. And why I got into it. Well, I wanted to make money. That was my why. My why was like, hey, this is something that's important. I want to be able to prepare a way for my family one day, and I liked the idea actually originally, and I'll get into it when I share more of my story. But the idea of money making money for me in my sleep, I like that idea. I really like that idea. So I wanted to figure out how can I do that? Because if I can figure that out and do it very well, then eventually I can teach my kids, and then they can do it very well. And then 100 generations of Vesters later, we're now impacting the world. We're separated from the rat race system, and we're figuring out what do we want to do, and we're doing things because we're purposed to do them, not because we're trying to survive. So that's kind of the long, high-level overview, but we'll start from the ground level because I didn't just end up like this, and I didn't grow up learning about real estate. The closest thing I got to it was Monopoly, actually. So there's a journey. So maybe we can start. Maybe this side might be a little bit easier. Just stand, your name, your business, and why you're here today. How about that?
I'm Jackson. My business is clothing line, right? And I'm here today because my boss, he told me to apply for the job and invest into my business.
Awesome. Very well done. Thank you, Jackson.
James Williams, here to support my son with his business, and he'll tell you about it in a couple times.
I love it. Thank you, James.
I'm Rodnisha Hayes, and this is my son Josiah, here to support my daughter in her business.
I love it. Thank you, Rodnisha.
Oh, my name is Malia.
Stand.
Stand up.
My name is Malia, and I'm here to just I guess, to get the grant and businesses.
Okay, I'll shake your hands. By the way, thank you. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me make sure I run it back. You stood and introduced yourself, so I should shake your hand.
My name is Cameron. My business is Cam's Bows, and I'm here to help support my business and people to make more money.
Good job. Thank you, Cameron.
My name is Sophia. My business name is Social Crazy for Lemonade, and what inspired me to make it was money.
Honey, thank you, Sophia.
My name is Starfly, and my business is Slime and Floss.
Okay. Thank you, Starfire. You got it. You got it.
My name is Whitney, and I'm the parent of Starfly, here to support her as I'm an entrepreneur as well myself, and making money in my sleep is definitely something I am wanting to do, doing.
Come on.
The TikTok shop.
Come on.
And some other avenues online.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
You want to go?
My name is Malcolm, and I love supporting toys for my mommy.
I love it. Very well done. Great job. Thank you. Nice to meet you. With that pizza.
This is Kiama. Her business is Keys Creation. And she wants to make lip gloss because she likes lip gloss. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Good job. Good job. Good job. Thank you.
I'm her auntie. I'm here to help her support her as an entrepreneur.
Come on. I love it. Thank you.
My name's Sabira.
And Sabira. Nice to meet you, Sabira.
My name's Kareem. I'm her uncle. I'm here to drive. So.
Okay. Nice to meet you, brother.
My name is Asad, and my business is Live for Love.
Great work. Nice to meet you.
My name is Nadia, and our business is Live for Love too. I deal with these two.
Okay. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Nadia.
I'm also with Live for Love, and the reason why I'm doing it is to gather people around and also make money.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say the name of my business. My business persevering for me to get us.
Okay, hey, thanks for stopping me to make sure you put yourself out there. All right, that's huge. So, look, guys, everything is done with intention. We got to stand up for ourselves because if we don't, we can't expect anyone else to. So this is a practice. All right, being able to stand up, say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is the service that I'm providing. It's so important, and it's business 101. It's business 101. All right, my name is Jahleel. This is how I can help you. That's ultimately where it starts. So let me get my little notebook, kind of keep myself on track. So I'll start with telling you guys a little bit about my story. And so I started in business at the age of about 10. Everything gets a little bit blurrier. I get that now. I'm still a young man, only 29. But thinking back to 10, there's just certain details that are blurrier. But I remember why. The feeling is crystal clear. So my parents, so I should start with my parents. My parents were Navy people. So my dad was in the Navy. My mom was in the Navy. My dad worked on aircrafts, electronic attack, and my mom was an admin. And so that essentially meant that they met in Jamaica. Or no, sorry, my mom's from Jamaica. They met in Florida. My dad's from Detroit. So they met in Jacksonville, Florida, Naval Air Station, Jacksonville. Had me, had my younger brother. Then we moved to Yokosuka, Japan. We lived out in Yokosuka, Japan for about 5 years. We were in Okinawa, Japan for a little bit. And then we moved to Naval Air Station Whidbey, which is located in Oak Harbor, Washington. So that was about 2001 or so, 2001. Excuse me. So my younger sister, Jessica, was born in Japan. And then my dad, it was always on his heart to adopt one day. So we did foster care for a while. There was already 2 boys. There was 1 girl. So I had a couple different foster sisters. And then eventually we adopted my youngest sister, Lillian. We also happened to adopt her on April Fool's Day. So that was kind of like ironic. Like, congrats, you're adopted. Maybe, if you act right. Wash the dishes. I don't know. Sick joke, but she, but we love her. Okay, we love her. All right, so, and then I'll probably, if someone could help me with time, I just want to make sure, like, I know when I have about 15 minutes left. So 2:30 right now? Okay, good to know. So that's kind of the context to why we're in Whidbey Island. And so we're in base housing. So base housing essentially, it's like, a bunch of military families, they've got a spot for you. It took a while, but we finally got into base housing. And next thing I'm just being a kid, playing video games, probably doing something, but I hear this. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Mom's like, hey, go get the door, see who's there. So I go to the door. I see a bunch of kids, some of them about my age, some of them a little bit older, and a little basket. And in the little basket, they had a bunch of toys. And they said, hey, would you like to buy some toys? And they had different price points for all the toys. And in my mind, I'm thinking, that's brilliant. So I'm not thinking I want to buy toys. I'm thinking, I got some toys I could sell. So I run upstairs, grab some toys, and I go find them because they're at this point now, they already left because, we didn't want to buy any toys. But I'm trying to sell some toys, like get me in this, So I chased them down. They're about 6 doors down by the time I caught up with them and I had my toys. I said, hey, can I join you guys and put my toys in the basket? And can I sell some toys to you? Biggest dude said, no. He said he owned the streets of toys. All right. On the toy business, he's like, you're not getting in here. There's an initiation process, and you did not go through that. So I guess you had to pay dues. The dude was the little don of the Navy housing when it came to the toy game. So I'm like, bro, really? So I just felt dejected. So I'm walking back, a bunch of toys in my hand, like, he wouldn't let me sell toys with them. Like, I was trying to make money. But then my brain starts going because there's something that I need. There's another level of currency that's not dollars, okay? Y'all, can anyone guess a very important currency that is not dollars to people that are about 10 years old?
Video games?
Video games, absolutely. And they weren't as sophisticated, okay? But video games, and to me at the time, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, okay? Those were things, y'all probably don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is. That's okay. But Pokemon, anybody know Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like Pokemon cards, just a different cartoon and all that stuff. So
I love Pokemon cards.
I love Pokemon cards as well. and I wanted to get more of them. So when we're in the Walmart and I'm saying, hey, can I get these cards? My dad would say, you got money for that? Oh, no? Okay. So I think that was just like his kind of go-to. He wouldn't say he's cheap. He'd probably say he's frugal. But I'm like, Dad, you're cheap. So, in that whole like, you want McDonald's, you got McDonald's money. He was hitting me with that line all the time. So what's good is I look back, and at the time, of course, I'm like pissed, right? I want what I want when I want it. But what my dad was teaching me is the world's not always going to give you what you want when you want it. Sometimes you're going to have to find a way to earn what you want to get what you want when you want it. And so it was really a gift. At first I was like, man, do you even care? You don't want to give me the things that I want when I want them? But he was giving me a gift. He was allowing me to say, hey, son, if you want something, you got to figure out how you're going to get that. You know what I'm saying? So start thinking of some ideas. And next thing you know, I found it. I figured it out. There was a problem at base housing. So within the military community, one of the things that you need to do to promote is you got to get deployed. You got to leave for like 6 months, 8 months. All right. So what that meant is there's a lot of families, a lot of moms and daughters and children who were just right there. And sometimes they're running the house, making sure they can do everything. And so their grass would just start doing this, growing on up. And they're handling business, but that grass was not getting handled. And so what I saw to them was a problem. To me, was an opportunity. It was an opportunity. I said, oh, that's green. And guess what else is green? Can you guess what else is green? Money. Come on now. All right. So that was the birth of J&J Services. Okay. So my name is Jahleel. My brother's name is Jeremy. And we birthed J&J Services. So we literally got a sheet. Remember, Dad put up a sheet. We took a picture. We're back to back like this. Okay. What's going on? Yes, good. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna teach you how to get some of that money. Okay, that's so genuine. Come on. All right, there's precious moments. I'm never forgetting that. I love money. Yes. Bar. Okay. So we put the sheet up. We take our pictures back to back, put it on there, and then this is like Microsoft. It's like early stages Microsoft, but we're on there. Make the business card, and the next thing you know, we made it so like we can kind of cut them out, and then we started going to all the mailbox spots and start putting our J&J Services contact information on the mailboxes. All right, and then we're waiting. I'm like, all right, it's a great idea, bet. We waited. 1 day went by, 2 days, 3 days went by. Nobody called. And I'm like, this thing is supposed to make money. So I'm like, Dad, Mom, trying to make money. We put our names out there, like, what's going on? Well, he's like, you knock on any doors? Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should knock on some doors, right? So what did I do? You want to open the door? Open the door. Hi, my name is Jahleel. Can I cut your grass? Okay, bet. Money. All right, sold. Now, so you have your yard, and so what I would do. So you said sure. I said shake your hand. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Can I see your yard? And usually we would knock on the door. We go back. So the house is like you can see the front, and then you can kind of see the back. So you kind of run through the little alleyway. You look at the grass. If you saw the grass was really high, you run to the front of the door, and then you knock. Boom. And then so usually you get a lot of yeses once you figured out, yeah, you need your grass cut. There's a need. All right. So what would happen if there was a house with grass that was perfectly cut, manicured, and pretty, and I knocked on their door? What do you think they would have told me? No? They said no. Why would they say no?
Because it's already fine.
It's already fine. Now, does that mean that they didn't like me?
No.
Why not?
It just means you can't fix something that's already fixed.
It is what it is. Perfect. It's already cut. You can't fix something that's already fixed. So in your businesses, when you say, hey, I have a service, I have a product, and someone says no, does that mean something bad about you?
No.
What does that mean? They're already okay. So that means we're not out here looking for people that don't need what we have to offer. We're looking for people that have a need, and they're going to work with us when they see that we can solve their problem. Does that make sense? So There's layers, and there's a reason that I'm really harping on that. Our job in entrepreneurship is to fill the needs of people. All right, we want to discover what is the need that they have, and if it matches the product or the service that we can provide, then that's what's going to allow us to transact, shake hands, and do business. Does that make sense? Okay, so it doesn't mean if it's a no today, it doesn't mean you're a bad salesperson. It doesn't mean you have a bad business. It just means that you happen to talk to somebody in that specific point in time that did not need the service or the product that you have to offer. It doesn't mean anything bad about you. Does that make sense? So that helped me to keep knocking on doors because there were some doors, and I had to figure this out because there's some doors I'd knock on and be like, no, we don't need anything. We don't need anything. And I'm like, man, are we bad? You just not like me? Like, what's up? But then I started to figure out, oh, your grass is manicured. So then when I started looking for the people who had the problem, who had the overgrown grass, our sales reps, and our percentages to the yes, they started to go up because we knew you have a problem. So if I ask you and you have $20, I'm cutting this grass. And then eventually our dad made us hire our younger sister, Jessica, to sweep. And I was like, you're cutting into my profits, Dad. Like, we don't need this. Like, we can handle this. But he's like, nope, you take her along. So I'm like, there's me, Jeremy. So Jeremy would mainly do like the main cutting. I would do the edges, like the weed whacking type stuff. But I mostly talked to the people, and then we'd run this, and then Jessica would come with her little broom, and she's probably about your size, and she just sweep, get the little grass clippings, and we pay her $1. So it was good, but it was our first iteration of a business. And what was beautiful is they started building up bigger houses, and they put the officers and the higher enlisted in those houses. So we might make $10 on the smaller houses, we made $20 on the big houses. All right, and then we needed gas though, right? We're cutting the grass. You got to have some fuel in your lawnmower. I went to Dad, Mom. Hey, Dad, Mom, can we get some gas? He said, you got to pay for that. I'm like, what? We got to pay for this too? He said, you know what that's called? Overhead. All right? There's a cost to doing business. So that showed me I can't spend every dollar I make because I got to put some money away to make sure I can get some more fuel to cut some more grass to make some more money. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right? So if you're making some money, right, you transact. You said, what's your business? Clothing. Okay. So how much does it cost you to make a t-shirt? Hoodies. Okay, so what is that? What does that cost you? 80 to 100 for one. So then, if you sell, so how much would you sell for usually for your hoodie? No, so what?
The manufacturers, they said it's like 80 to 100 for a sample.
Mm-hmm.
But like a bulk is like about 200 to 300.
So okay, so about 200 to 300 for a bulk set. All right, so that means when you make your sale, you've got to make sure you're putting at least. So say you sell it for like $25, you're probably putting $5 to $10 away in the bank so that you can have some more money to buy some more hoodies so you can do it all over again, right? Typically, they call this thing the law of thirds. So you have the cost of the product, the cost to replace the product, and then essentially the cost to, and then your profit margin, all right? Cost of the product, cost of replacement, and then your profit margin. So it's the law of thirds. So typically, any store that you go into, say you see something that is for sale for $15. It probably cost them $5 to make. They want to make $5, all right, and then they got to replace that same T-shirt or whatever the item was that you just paid $5 for, right? So it's called a markup, right? That's business 101, like ground level. So I want to start with that story because your ages, I love this. Your ages is where I started. You can discover that you have a skill. If you can fill a need, you can make some money. All right, there's no such thing as too young. The only thing that really limits us is this. It's this. And it's the confidence. All right? It's understanding that people aren't rejecting you. They're rejecting an opportunity. So that's what helped me to continue to knock on doors. Because let me reframe this. Do you think at age 10 it was probably scary to knock on strangers' doors? Yeah? Yeah? So what do you think helped motivate me to keep knocking on doors?
Were you with somebody or it was just you?
Great question. So I brought my brother with me. So me and my brother.
That may be kind of less scary because you're with somebody.
Bingo. Absolutely. So that helped me to have confidence because I was with somebody. I brought my brother. Great question. All right. Any other observations or questions around that? What inspired me? How did I keep going, knocking on doors? Why did I want to keep doing that, even though it was scary?
You want a video game.
Bingo. I wanted money. I wanted video games. All right. My desire for what I wanted was greater than my fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My desire for what I wanted was greater than my fear. That is when you're going to be able to take action on the things that you actually want. A lot of us, we have an idea. Say you're talking to your friends, social media, whatever, and we have a picture in our head of the vacations, a picture in our head of the properties that we want, the friendships that we want. We have a picture, and yet our action is lacking. Why is that? I know what I want, but I'm not willing to act on that. So if I know what I want, but I'm not willing to act on it, how bad do I really want that thing? Not too much. So what do you think I need to do to take action towards that thing? If you want it enough. And that's the key. There's got to be a point where you're no longer comfortable with where you're at, that you're willing to take the risk to get closer to where you want to go. All right? There's got to be a point. There's got to be a time. There's got to be a moment where you say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want McDonald's when I want McDonald's. I want my video games. I want my Pokemon cards. And so I am going to knock on these doors, because if I knock on these doors, they have what I need, which is money. And I have what they need, which is a service. And I'm going to do it very well. So fast forward, I'm in high school. Now, I'm older. I've got friends that are getting jobs, that are making money. Some of them working at Wendy's. They're not cutting corners. Some of them are over here loving it at McDonald's, right? Some of them, they're not working because mommy and daddy have crazy money, and they just get what they want. And I was very jealous of them. I was. I'm not anymore, though. I'll tell you guys why. But I used to be very jealous of those, right? So I'm talking to my mom and pop, and I'm like, hey, I want to go get a job. What should I do? Should I go apply somewhere? Da-da-da. Next thing you know, my dad says, well, why would you go apply for another job? Why don't you just get more customers? And I was just like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me just do that. So literally, we started knocking on more doors. But now at this point, we have moved, so we're not in base housing. Also, we had a lot of price comparison or competition because the base housing people, they hired a company to come in and cut the grass. So now they then pushed us out of the market. All right, we can't compete with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm like, okay, like you got grown men out here with the big machines, and we're knocking and we say, hey, can I cut your? No. Oh, okay. So sometimes, look, you might have figured something out where you're making some money, but then the market changes on you. Now you got to adapt. Now you got to adjust, right? Then we moved out of the neighborhood, so we're in a different spot now, and we weren't as confident because I had my system. I knew I could get $10 over here for these yards, $20 over here. I could probably be out of there in 20 minutes. Like, I had the system, but now I'm in a new space. I'm in a new place. And so now that desire in me again was tested to say, how bad do you really want it? Are you willing to get out there again in this new neighborhood with these different people, with these bigger houses? And I'm in this neighborhood where I can't really see if they have a need or not because they got these big old fences around their yards. So I'm like, I don't know. It's a new challenge. Does that make sense? There's a new challenge. And so now I had to say, okay, well, mom and pop say, okay, get more customers, make more money. Why work at McDonald's? Just go get more customers. Okay. So we start doing that. And you know what? It worked out. Now we're making money on our time. And it was a blessing because we were in sports, right? Did a lot of different sports, soccer, basketball, eventually wrestling, football. Then wrestling became my main thing. I golfed a little bit my senior year. Wrestling's also what gave me the opportunity to go to college. And so with such an active lifestyle, we were able to, because we were entrepreneurs like you guys, because we were able to make money on our time and our terms, we were able to live this active lifestyle of doing our sports and being gone and going on these trips and still find a way to buy our own video games. You know what I'm saying? So that's the gift of what you guys are getting into now and what you're learning now. Entrepreneurship, it allows you to make money on your schedule. But here's the thing. It's a blessing because you're like, I can make money when I want. But then the downside of the entrepreneurship is you can work and overwork. And there's no ceiling, but there's also no floor. You might spend $5,000 trying to do something and lose it all. That's me. I've done that. Okay, and I'll get to that part of my story. Bought this whole coaching program, thought I was gonna kill it, and I was just getting drained. Hey, Miss Maya, how much time do I have?
At least 15 more minutes.
15 more minutes, at least. Okay, good. Okay, so we're at a pretty good part of the story. So, anyways, I'm in high school. Friends are getting jobs. I get more customers, and it created like a very good space for me. So I took those lessons to college. All right, so now I'm in college. I ain't got no more yards to cut because I'm training. So literally, I'm waking up about 5 a.m., work out at 6 a.m., go to class, then go to practice, eat, and then get to my dorm room, and I'm like, bet, I'm chilling. And then I remember usually about 30 minutes, like I get to my dorm room. When I got to my dorm room in the afternoon, there was about 30 minutes of just, I love life. Life is so great. And then I remember I'm about to be working out in like another 5 hours. So I'm like, here we go. So it was just, honestly, it was hard. It was extremely hard, very hard. But I needed to try to find a way to make some kind of money because I wanted to, again, do the things I wanted to do. So I got a job. I got a job at the post office. Can anyone guess how much I was making? Now, granted, I'm in Iowa working in a post office in college. Can anyone guess how much I was making?
Like either $10 or $50.
Okay, $10, $15 an hour. I like that.
About 25.
$25 an hour. Okay, I like that. $100 an hour in the post office in Iowa in college. I like that. That would have been nice. You got to guess? Bingo. $7.25 an hour. Post office. All right? When I tell you it hit me hard, I spent about 2 hours. Now, granted, it's not like I have a bunch of time. About 2 hours, so that's about $14. And when I took myself to Applebee's and I got a meal and it was $20, that did something to me. It did something to me. I said, I just ate 2 hours of my time, and I couldn't even afford that. I probably ate about 2.5, 3 hours of my time. Think about that. That meal cost me about 2.5 hours of life. A meal. 2.5 hours. Can't get that back. I consumed that in like 30 minutes. Not even counting the appetizers, okay? I'm for real. Like this is what we do every single day. Every single day. Think about the last meal that you went out to eat. How much did that cost you? Then do the math of your own brain. How much money did you make in an hour? And then translate that. How much is that meal? How much time does that meal cost you? Okay? So I had to figure something out. It's my junior year of college at this point. And honestly, you know, I had there's this one lady, I won't say her name because I'm going to put this on YouTube at some point. But she was very nice, but sometimes she was very stressful to me. Okay? Very, just like, depending on the day, it's just like, oh God, like, just watch out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and then I'm thinking in my mind, like, I know I can do better than this. And so now one of the things I was doing out there, because I'm in Iowa, I'm cutting my own hair. All right? I didn't trust anybody. I'm not going to Great Clips in Iowa. You kidding me? All right? I'm not trying to look like Michael Jordan. All right? I'm trying to do something with this. Okay? So I'm cutting my own hair, or my brother, because we're 13 months apart, he also came to college and he wrestled as well. So that was like some of the best times of my life. My younger brother, and he ended up getting taller than me, so I called him my little big brother. So sometimes he would cut my hair, or we'd cut our own hair, whatever. We figure it out. And so my junior year, I was with my roommate, Scott. And then I had another friend, Trevor, who would hang out a lot too. He was on the track team, like a Latino guy. And so one time, Trevor's like, I was like, hey, bro, can I cut your hair? Or he asked me to cut his hair or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I bet. And so I cut his hair, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So some people thought he looked good. Some people thought he looked like a cancer patient. You know, it's neither here nor there. We got it done. We got the job done. But I was like, oh, I just learned something. Like, I can't go quite against the grain on his type of hair because it's a little bit thinner. So let me try something different. Let me like put a guard on there, lighten that up a little bit. And then I cut him again, but then this time people were like, whoa, who cut your hair, Trev? You go to Great Gates? No, Jahleel did that. I said, okay, bet. Next thing you know, my roommate Scott, he's like, hey, well, can you cut my hair? I cut him for free. I got Scott right. Then Scott told his friend, hey, who cut your hair? Jahleel. So then at this time I was on Snapchat, heavy. And so every time I cut somebody's hair, I put some music on there and I say, gas them up, fresh cuts. That was my thing, fresh cuts, right? And so now people are starting to know, hey, fresh cuts, yeah, hey, fresh cuts, yeah. So now it became the guy. Then I could figure out I can make $10 in about 30 minutes. And then eventually I was getting so many customers, I had to up my prices. $15, 30 minutes. And a couple, $20, $25 clients. There's a few of them, white boys. It was great. God is good all the time. Okay. And so now I'm figuring out, hey, I can make money cutting hair, made money cutting grass. And it's ironic. So I'll kind of get close. I feel like I might be close to time. So I'll fast forward to junior year of college in the summer. I say I like to blame Jesus and Tony Robbins. All right. Most of us know who Jesus is. Tony Robbins. Some people might know him. Some people might not know him. Really tall guy, big old head. All right. And he's looking like this on a book. Okay. Tony Robbins. And I see this guy, white guy, big old smile. And I see this title. It says Money, 7 Steps to Mastering the Game. I'm in Barnes & Noble. I've always told people I'd love to meet my wife in Barnes & Noble, not just a beach. All right. Because that just tells me something about her. So I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, whoa, money, 7 steps to master the game. Okay, well, I want to master that. Like, let's tap into this. That is where I learned about real estate. That is where I learned about passive income. So let me explain what that is. Imagine this space right here. Say you own this space. All right, you took your money that you saved and you purchased this space. All right, now each of these booths that are in here, do you guys pay rent on that? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's imagine that to have a booth in here, to sell your product, you had to pay $10 a month. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so the owner, I saved my money and I purchased this space and now I'm gonna rent a space to you and you for $10 a month so that you can sell your product. Now, I can go to Hawaii and guess what? You're gonna pay me how much a month? $10. So now, if I wanna go to Applebee's and pay for a $20 meal, and maybe add in a $5 appetizer, that's $25, but I've got, say, at least 5 of you paying me rent, $50 a month. Am I paying for that Applebee's?
No.
Who's paying for my Applebee's? Bingo. That's passive income. That's passive income. You make your money, you save your money, and then you purchase something that can be useful to somebody else to where they pay you monthly, so now you can spend their money to feed yourself. Now we're getting ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? So out of the rat race, right? Instead of trading time for money, now we're creating something of value that can give value to people without us needing to spend time to do that thing. All right? The money, when people say time is money, quite literally, it is. It's value transferred. So I want to encourage all of you, every dollar that you guys make, put something away for yourself. Imagine this. Imagine you're saving time. You're saving time so that you can reinvest that into something in the future. All right? And for a lot of you, you're going to be able to make some moves farther down. You want a car, you want a property. Start thinking about those things now. All right? You want to invest in yourself, okay? A lot of people, I've heard it said you want to invest in the S&P 500, buying stocks and portions of companies. Invest in the S&Me 500. All right? There is nothing more valuable than an investment in yourself. What does investing in yourself looks like? It looks like coming to this on a Sunday so that you can hear somebody teach you something. It looks like going on YouTube, figuring out how you can get better at your craft, whatever that craft is. It looks like reading books. It looks like listening to podcasts. It looks like talking to your parents and being respectful and being kind. All right? Your reputation, all right, it matters. And you're starting now. I'll tell you this. So again, I'm in real estate. One of my last clients that I worked with, helped her buy her house. I met her in 2008. In 2008, there was this housing market crash and all this stuff. But the thing is, I wasn't caring about that because I was in 8th grade. All right? She was my 8th grade middle school teacher. But you know what? I was always kind and I was always respectful. And so now as an adult, we were able to reconnect, and she trusted me to help her make the biggest purchase of her life. $550,000 home in Whidbey Island. I met her in 8th grade. Does that make sense? So your reputation, how you treat people, people are always watching. How you treat your siblings, how you treat your parents, how you treat your friends. People are always watching. You never know who you're going to have the opportunity to make money with. Does that make sense? All right. And then, so fast forward, I thought I was going to go to the Air Force. Ended up not doing that. I read another book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. There's a line in there saying about get a job for the money you can, or for what you can learn, not just for the money you can make. And for me, that was a big deal because I was always trying to do something entrepreneurial, but I understood that the jobs that we get, they're skill building. Okay, you're not there forever. You're there to learn something. You want to pray, okay, Lord, give me the opportunity to get somewhere where I can trade my time, not just for dollars, but for a skill. That's what you're really looking for. You're trading time for a skill set. You should, and you want to position yourself. So this is the strategy of things, okay? Identify where you want to go, and then find a way to get paid to learn to do the thing that you want to do. Does that make sense? Identify where is it you want to go. For me, I wanted to do something with this real estate thing that I'm learning about, but I don't know what it is. So my junior year, I'm working at a gym, but I found one of my buddies, and this is also another thing. Who, not how. Who, not how. Public education will teach us don't collaborate with people. We call that cheating because you're working together to find an answer. They want to separate you and they want to separate and silo your minds. We're not designed to work that way. We're designed to work in collaboration. Okay, does that make sense? So when you want to collaborate, when you want to do something, don't think about how can I do it all. All right, we have gifts. So we're made to collaborate with other people that have other gifts that can help us. So who, not how. Who can I partner with to help me get to this thing? You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, you want to skill yourself up. That's important, but we want to think of this kind of big picture, okay? So as you guys are doing your businesses, you guys see everyone else that's in this room? All these, you see the other young men and women in this room? All right, you guys should be friends. Does that make sense? You guys should be friends, so you can be talking about, okay, what are you selling? All right, what are you selling? Your business is hoodies, right? And your business is, what's your business, young man? I'm sorry. What's your business? Candles. Bows. Lemonade. Lip gloss. Jewelry. And candles. Okay, so there's some collaborations right here. There's some lip gloss, there's some lemonade. So maybe there's an event where you all invite your friends, you get a space, you invite your friends, you hype it up and say, hey, come get some candles, lemonade, and lip gloss from us right here. You know what I'm saying? You're always promoting other people because look, if you help other people get to what they want, eventually you'll have whatever you want. All right, that's a Zig Ziglar quote. All right, what I like to say is be who you want to see, and then you will see who you want to be. All right, I created that quote because I don't like the idea of fake it till you make it. All right, I don't like that idea. All right, people deal with this thing. It's called imposter syndrome. It means that I'm acting like something that I'm not until I can become that thing. I don't think that's authentic. I think so I'll break it down. Be who you want to see until you see who you want to be. So if you behave like the person that you want to become, then you will be that person. So I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to own a lot of real estate. I have a rental property in Everett, Washington right now. It's valued over $500K. I'm grateful for my tenants because they're paying that thing down for me. All right. Every month they're helping me build wealth, and I am so grateful for them. All right. So I didn't start right there. So what I had to do is I had to surround myself. I had to figure out there's a guy on my wrestling team. His dad was a real estate agent. So I connected with him. I said, hey, Jacob, can you introduce me to your dad so he can teach me about real estate? So then every Thursday that summer, my junior year in college, I'm in Tyler's office learning about real estate and passive income and market analysis and how to sell it and how to value it and all these things, right? And what I also didn't know I was doing, I was creating a connection to a person that could help open up other doors for me. Does that make sense? So again, back to who you are, back to who you're being, back to how you're behaving. All right, it all matters. It all matters. So I brought my saxophone so I could play a song for you guys. And so let me tell you the story of this saxophone. So was this? This was in middle school. We had a choice. You could do band or you can do choir. And so I decided to do band because I felt like I was in choir every Sunday. So I wanted to do something different. And this saxophone, I didn't play it until my 8th grade year because they wouldn't let you start with the saxophone. And let me see here. So I played the trumpet. And I had a hard time hitting the high notes on the trumpet. And I was like, oh, my lips are too big for this, so I need to get a baritone. Also, I didn't want to carry my trumpet to school every day. And the baritone is so big that you have to keep it at the school. So I was like, this is just going to make my life a lot easier if I play baritone. So I played that. Didn't do too well. But I did okay. But then eventually I was like, hey, it's finally time. I'm an 8th grader now. I'm getting that saxophone. So I played and I had a good time. And then eventually, after 8th grade was over, I didn't join band because there was other things I wanted to do. I wanted to do sports. And I was like, here's I left it in the garage, actually. That's what I did. I just left it in the garage. So after about 2 years leaving this thing in the garage, I was like, my friends were getting, these gaming stations, Xboxes, PlayStations, and I was like, I want an Xbox. And I was like, how can I get an Xbox? How can I get an Xbox? What can I do? And I wasn't thinking like, oh, get more customers, save up money, and buy an Xbox. I was thinking, I got a saxophone. How much is that worth? I said, oh, I could probably get some money for this. I can probably get a couple $100. You know what I'm saying? Hit me, knuckles, all right? That's what I'm like, let me sell this thing. So I told my mom, I said, Mom, I want an Xbox, and you know what? You don't even have to pay for it. I'm going to sell the saxophone. What do you think my mom said? No. Exactly like that. With a little bit of a Jamaican accent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she did not let me sell this saxophone. She said, in so many words, she didn't, huh? I wish I did, but I didn't. I was just like, I was disheveled, and I decided not to do anything with it until sophomore year, later in my sophomore year of high school. I decided, hey, I'm seeing the worship team do their thing every Sunday, and I'm like, I would love to be a part of that. And then I'm like, okay, not really good with piano, drums is covered. What's the one thing that no one's got up there? Saxophone. And so I was like, hey, let me just try to pick this thing up. And so I started getting up there, and they gave me an opportunity, and I love it because, anytime you give people an opportunity to do something, if their heart is in the right place, they'll become better at the thing. And so the beautiful thing with all of you is you're in here and you've been given opportunity. Your parents are giving you opportunities, investing in you so that you can become something. So anyways, one of the first songs that I learned to play on this thing is what I'll play for you guys today. I'm going to leave you with that. So let me see here. Get my register first. All right. There we go. Bless the Lord. And a little saxophone. So, yeah, guys, that's my story. I hope you all were able to take some value from that. I think from this point, we'll just do a little Q&A until Miss Maye comes and gets us. So, questions, comments on anything.
Well, one thing I got from that story was don't sell what someone gave to you. Just sell if you have a business. Don't sell what someone gave to you. Sell what you're doing.
I love that. Absolutely. Sell what you're doing. Sell what you got. Sell what you're good at. Absolutely. Love that. Is there anything else you guys kind of got from this today? Anything stuck out to you?
If you can't find anything to do, just like you said, you were cutting grass, right?
Yeah.
Find something to do, like lemonade stand or cut grass or something.
There you go. Find an opportunity. I love that. Thank you. Knuckles up. Hey, knuckles up to you. I got you. Good stuff. Absolutely.
I've been thinking about when you had mentioned about your going to the homes and certain looking for that grass and the ones that don't have the grass, and it had me thinking of the term where they say, I guess maybe in sales where you get to 40 no's before you may get to 10
Oh,
yeses.
come on. Absolutely. I'm just about to get my mic on you for a second. All right, I'm about to have you say that one more time because that was fire. That was fire. Oh, yeah, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah,
Right,
when you were mentioning about the you going to the homes and looking for the grass and seeing where the need was at with utilizing your skill set and giving your services to them, it had me thinking about the time. Well, I specifically had sold life insurance at that time, so I was a little bit more. I learned this then,
Yeah.
which was you will get to 40 yeses or no's before you get to 10 yeses.
Come on.
So it just means to keep going, to keep providing your services,
Come on.
keep pushing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.